am back. You're listening to Nadine at Night on National Lampoon Comedy Radio, XM 154. In the studio. Are you holding your breath?
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller! Do you
Yes.
want to be Nadine and I'll be TJ for a second?
Nadine at Night.
You sound like Max Headroom a little bit.
I know. Wow, obscure reference, but one that I like.
I think we're the same grade, that's why.
Are we?
Yeah. Do you think the Britney Spears has almost become the crocodile hunter where it's hack to talk about her now?
It's so funny that we're having in-depth comedy conversations about Britney Spears. I do a little bit feel like, okay, we've gotten her. It's almost to me like she's just so easy now to make fun of. Oh, Britney. We all want to remember Britney when she was like, oops, I did it again, instead of like, oh shit, what happened to my motherfucking kid? I'm holding up in my motherfucking place. I've done a lot of meth. Yeah. I mean, and I don't know. I don't talk about her that much at all, really. But I do think, like, if your life was doing the MTV Awards and having Carson Daly play it back with thud noises because you've gained weight, I would also hold myself up and steal my own children.
I know, and it was her VMA wasn't even like there's no choreography, and Chris Angel went public and said, you know, there's just a lot of work and we were going to split her into 3 and then in the 4s, and then Britney just didn't want to commit to the time. So, sorry, Britt, she doesn't want to commit to her kids. You want her to commit to you?
God, it's so bad.
Would you, I know you have a girlfriend, but let's say you're totally single, living in a bachelor apartment, not a lot of money, maybe drink a 12er every night, which...
12er?
Okay, a
30.
30 pack. And Britney Spears came to your door, knocking on your door, and let's say she had some sort of let's say she had herpes. Would you have sex with her?
What I don't understand what about that situation is good. Like, the only thing you've described that seems appealing to me is that I've had 30 beers. Somehow in this scenario I received a 30 pack, so I'm happy up until that point.
I guess it's like the worst would you rather game where, like,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm actually really bad at would you rather. I'm always like, would you rather have sex with Britney Spears with an STD or have your head cut off?
What would you do?
What would you rather?
Now let's talk about Carpoolers. That's on every Tuesday. And did you guys have to stop because of the strike?
Please, I am imploring all the listeners to check the show out. It's very funny. It's Bruce McCullough who wrote for the Kids in the Hall and he was one of the Kids in the Hall, and he the show's hilarious. Russo brothers. I don't know if you like Arrested Development.
I love Arrested Development.
They directed the pilot for that and a bunch of episodes. So the show is great, and it's kind of a really funny cast. Like, Jerry O'Connell's in it, who was in Stand By Me and Sliders.
And My Secret Identity.
Yes, he was. Everybody has some weird show that he was on that they really... Jordan's Crossing. Don't forget that one. Okay, TJ? I'm like, all right, awesome. But I lived with him and Rebecca Romaine for 2 weeks when I first came to town because I didn't have a place to stay. And he jokingly said, you can stay with us. I said, all right. And we kept joking until I moved in with them. And their reality is so far gone, it's fantastic. He wakes up every morning, they eat the food that's delivered to them, he puts on a blue Speedo and his iPod, and he washes their, like, 7 dogs. And Rebecca Romaine...
In a Speedo.
Yeah, they just hang out in swimming suits, and then Rebecca goes and shoots Ugly Betty as a transgender character.
Which is also another great show.
Yeah, it was really weird living but the show's great. I mean, and I play this sort of really weird character that's very different than my stand-up, and so I like it a lot, and I wish more people would see, because the strike is beating the shit out of us.
Yeah.
It really is. It's killing us. It's to a certain extent. It's just making it hard to get people to get on board because all the programming is messed up.
Well, people are almost like, oh, they're on strike. We're on strike from watching them too.
Yeah,
it's totally. They think that there's no programming on right now.
So we've got 6 more original episodes.
That's huge, and it's about basically guys carpooling to work.
4 guys carpooling to work, but it's got a strange sensibility. It's very funny. It's a good show for ABC especially.
I've seen it. I really, really like it, and that's on Tuesdays at ABC at 9:30.
Right after Accordion Jim, the greatest sitcom of all time.
Well, at least it's like you're like the closer to that.
Yeah,
it's like,
definitely.
You could definitely follow.
We like to think we come in and sweep up what happened. Totally. What just happened after that.
Sorry about that mess right there. Can
Exactly.
I just and then you put on one of those cuidado signs.
Cuidado, piso mojado.